From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
All right, time once again for the Hammer edition of The Horse's Mouth. Right here, back at the bar, back at Tommy Mac's place. Lonnie Martz is back, Sammy Kavaris is back, and our guest, Bryan Barker, is here. Gentlemen, how we doing?
Well.
Lonnie, good to see you.
Good.
The oldest original Jaguar, Bryan Barker.
That's me.
I didn't know that, but I appreciate it, Sammy.
You mean age-wise?
How are you? That's what he's saying, right? That's what you said in your text to me. The
Age-wise,
oldest
you're the oldest.
original Jaguar.
How about that?
John Carney, who's older than me, and he played here for like a game.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
kicked one
Okay.
game.
Yeah,
And you were born in Jax.
I was. Yeah.
I think I
How about
forgot
that?
that. Did you remember that? You remember everything.
Well, that was my job to know that.
right. Yeah,
He
right.
knew it back. He knew it back then.
Then I
You
knew
knew it back then.
Exactly. I'm trying to purge all that junk out of my mind.
It's over a quarter of a century ago,
Exactly.
right?
Right. I'm trying to purge last Sunday's game out of my mind. Sam.
I don't
what
know.
the heck?
Like I
What
said
the
last
heck is
time,
going-
Trevor Lawrence is the Jaguars' best player. That's the good news.
Yep.
The bad news is Trevor Lawrence is the Jaguars' best player. What bothered me, just like everybody else,
Yeah.
is that they look disorganized. They look like they weren't disciplined. They look like they have some talent in some spots.
Yep.
But, I'm still lost with their decision that the offensive line didn't need any
Anything.
work
No, I
in the
know.
offseason.
Right. It's amazing. You talk about being discombobulated, like not being, what the hell have you been doing all training camp? Like you come out, you line up wrong, you you burn a timeout like the
Right.
first minute and a half. You're like, what have you been doing?
that-
You
I
look at
guess
David
that-
Culley, they were fine.
That
They
was
were
my
together.
question, would have been my question to you guys. When that first, you play 3 preseason games. When that first real game starts and it's the starters in there, basically it's 22 guys going in and out all the time. Is it different? I mean, is it different? Because
Yeah,
it shouldn't be from an administrative standpoint.
I think it's different. Again, I think we might. It's just one game, though, and
Yeah.
we're being a little bit too harsh.
They'll be
I
on
think.
4 before you know it.
They could.
They're gonna be on
They could be. But here's the thing. You got a new coaching staff.
Yep.
Really a new team, and you do have players at different positions who we know are excellent players, but they didn't show up. And so maybe it does look a little discombobulated, but I believe that they'll get to moving. NFL is no joke. I mean, it from preseason to the real game, there's no joke.
Right.
The things that have to take place,
Yep.
and these guys, they don't have a clue yet.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
These guys, coaching staff-wise,
I think the head coach is learning as he goes.
I think it's a steeper learning curve
Than he thought.
Yeah.
and that anybody around him thought.
Yep.
I
right?
believe so.
I mean, when he said that in the second preseason game, he said, I looked up and we were midway through the second quarter. We'd only had the ball twice.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But the attention to detail, like, I don't know, line
So
them
I
up.
lived this
Come on.
deal with the Redskins.
Yeah.
I went with Schottenheimer 8 years after he cut me. He brought me up there to finish my career. He got fired because Spurrier was ill. And so Steve comes in, obviously a tremendous collegiate athlete, Heisman Trophy winner, tremendous collegiate coach, arguably marginal as a professional quarterback. And he shows up to the Redskins at the time, and it was a disaster. His whole concept of how to coach from a college perspective did not apply to an NFL season that's literally twice as long.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
You can tell that right away, Brian.
It was
when he showed
it
up.
was
But even just
absolutely
line it up. I mean, come on, it's not that much different.
It isn't.
It's
It
football.
isn't. It isn't. But it's like, what are they? I mean, 3 weeks? You think 3 weeks is enough time to get
They
a
had
coaching
2 weeks
staff?
before that, and then
Okay,
they had
5
all
weeks?
off season.
Well,
To
no, I
line
think
up-
you're right.
to go-
Brian.
to go through
From a coaching
everything?
staff standpoint,
To line
and,
up,
this
I
guy
don't know.
Jason Luckenfor, who writes for CBS, CBS Insight, he hates Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah.
First of all,
He does.
and he hates the Jaguars secondary. He hates the city worse than he hates the Jaguars.
Yeah.
But boy, he wrote Sunday morning. He wrote the most scathing thing about discord inside the locker room, about the coaching staffs not getting along, and all this other stuff. And everything he wrote seemed to play itself out in that particular game.
Yeah.
But we all know we've been behind the scenes and had media portray what's going on outside of that, and we're
It's
like,
not
where'd
true.
that come
No.
from?
Yeah,
where'd it
what
come
are you saying?
Yeah.
Is it really that bad?
So I'm guilty because I believed in the hype. I believed in the hype. There's a
thought-
lot of hype. I took it. I took the hook. I was like, yeah, new coach. He's committed to excellence. He's a winner everywhere he goes. Generational talent at quarterback. Yes, come on. We can't beat the Texans.
Well, and that's the other thing.
That's like what?
That's one of the games that everybody
Throw me
said the Jaguars were going to win.
Yeah,
That of the 5 or 6 games people said they were going to win, 2 of them were against Houston.
Right.
Where on this calendar right now is the fan base of the opposing team for the Jaguars not saying, all right, well, that's a win.
Right. Maybe Atlanta. Maybe.
And see, that's what I'm saying. I don't think.
No, I mean Atlanta's saying they
That's
could
what
beat
I'm
us.
saying.
Yeah, right. Everyone's saying it would beat
Every single
I don't think you can say that though. I don't think the Jags can say that any team or whatever team they can beat because they have not been together that long. And then everybody knows in NFL, you can beat anybody. I don't care what day it is. It just happens to be that day.
That day.
Yeah.
And so I don't think they can even look. They actually have to go from ground level all the way up, and we got to be patient with it. I honestly
Tom's
think
right. I mean, these first 4 games, the Jaguars were supposed to come out 2-2,
2-2,
3-1,
right?
Something like that. And I mean, Denver this week, Arizona, then they go on the road. I don't
want to harp on it, but I know when you were leading the special teams for us, like you made sure everybody knew what was going on. Like how to line up, like not lining up in the wrong position, not being out there. The worst thing that can happen to a backup player is during a game, coach goes, "Where the hell is my guard on 55?" Oh shit! I didn't mean to go to
Brittany over here talking to me, cracking jokes. That's a joke for you.
You see that?
Well, first of all, my job was to catch it and kick it.
Right.
Lonnie, his job as a special teams guy was to make sure that the guy next to him was there.
Yeah.
We had great coaches. We had we had a great team. You guys, you led the whole NFL that first year in Jacksonville as a special teams unit on the punt team.
That's
and
crazy.
You guys were both on.
That's right.
But that's why I say, think about the coaching staff. Think about how long they had been together. Think about how they put it together. I don't think this coaching staff had that kind of time, especially with COVID and everything that was going on last year. Coming in, you're brand new. You don't even know when you're going to get in.
Here's what Meyer said on Monday.
Yeah.
He said those procedural penalties where the tackles were in the backfield, they're supposed to line up off the guard. If the guard is too far back off the center, then they're back. That doesn't make any sense to me because the guards are Andrew Norwell, who's been in the league 7 or 8 years, and A.J. Cann, who's been in the league 7 or 8 years. And then, you got and 2 guys one guy's been in the league 3 years and one guy's been in the league 2 years who are lining up in the backfield. I mean, and Brandon Lindner, who's, supposedly the leader up front at center. I mean, these are guys who have played a lot of football.
Totally.
Yeah. Well, you know what that was? That was trying to keep those ends off.
I need an extra step.
They're a little bit faster than I thought.
I don't know. Look, I do wonder, is Meyer delegating too much? Like, I think he feels like I got to let the NFL guys run it for me because I'm not an NFL guy. But at the end of the day, he's got to tell them what to do. I mean, look at the offensive game plan. 51 times, you want Trevor Lawrence to throw the ball 51 times in his opening game as an NFL
I was surprised.
How old is he?
I was surprised at that because I was like, they came out and they started throwing the ball. I'm like, you got to let him have some time.
Yeah.
We were together. First 6 or 7 plays were
we're throws. I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah.
So that wasn't
when he hums it, man.
That was great.
It is beautiful.
Well, give him some time.
He threw that thing down the sideline on the backside of the corner and in front of the safety, and I mean, he he just fired that thing in there. But 51 times, probably the game plan called for him to throw it about 35 times. But when you're down 27-14,
what time is 14-7?
14-7, and
panicked.
I agree with you. I mean, there's more to the NFL than just kind of slinging it around.
Right. Well, and you take the running game. I mean, they never gave it a chance. The penalties on those 2 plays, one went for 12, one went for 11.
9 penalties.
Why wouldn't you go back to that? Like, okay, guy held, held twice, okay, you still got to go back to it and see what we can do. And then the defense.
I was going to say the defense surprised me because I was thinking that the defense would at least give us a stop and stand up at certain points, especially when they know what the down calls for. Like it's 3rd down and it's long. Hey, get back, make sure they catch it underneath, tackle them, put them down on the ground. They couldn't stop the run. And
what bothers me most about the defense in the 4th quarter when they started to try to pick a fight. And I was like, Where were you all game?
Yeah.
Where were you all
Who are
game
the
long
studs
with
on
this
this defense, by the way?
toughness?
Name a stud on this defense.
Miles is a stud when he plays. By the way, he was getting worked a little bit in the game.
That's what
I'm saying.
He was.
So
Milani
when
was.
when it's 3rd and 5,
Yep.
okay, your stud player is supposed to make a play.
Yep.
Years ago, Reggie White. Most recently, J.J. Watt. I mean, made those plays that ended that offensive
Calais
series.
Campbell.
Calais Campbell
Yeah.
for the Jaguars.
Right, for us, yeah.
Who is it for the Jaguars? Is it Miles Jack? He is yet to show that.
That's a good point. I don't know who else is there.
Nobody is what I'm saying.
Well,
They don't have any.
Well, Griffin.
I told you. I'm telling you for months.
I know.
They need a thumper, and he needs to be a star.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was Calais Campbell for a long time.
Totally. Yep.
You know.
Yep.
I mean,
They're expecting Josh Allen to be the guy. He did. A couple
he's not
things,
a thumper.
but he's not a thumper.
He's a phenomenal player.
athlete.
Yeah.
Unbelievable
athlete.
athlete.
Yeah.
too.
Great
Straight
athlete. Well, it's only week 1.
It is.
So
Exactly.
Yeah, they're never
Yes.
as bad as they think, or never
Right.
as good as they think
Yeah.
after week 1.
I wonder what film's like under Urban. You know, does he hammer him? You got to get hammered when you play like that. I think you got to be go over the mistakes,
for sure.
going over and over and over, and just making sure they don't happen again. I wonder-
Did Coughlin fine you guys when you made mistakes like that?
No.
No fines.
Only
Make you
if you had
run.
Only pants. Only pants.
Felt like it, but
pants
no.
out of place.
White socks.
Yeah, white
Tennis shoes.
pants. Pants too high.
What's
White
that?
on the
He
White
fined you
Sox.
for that?
For the White
Yeah.
Sox. Yeah.
I remember
Couldn't
Johnny
find
Rember
signs.
used to be the NFL
Yeah.
uniform official.
Yeah, right.
He'd walk around before
Yeah.
the game, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Today they're wearing like shorts. I mean, they don't even cover their knees anymore.
Right. Yeah.
There's no knee pads.
And tights underneath.
Yeah.
No
That's what
socks.
that's what you did as a punter, though, right?
Actually,
Your football pants rarely came down.
so back then we had to cover the knees.
You did.
We had to.
Yeah,
Everybody
totally.
did.
That's
Now, I
right.
didn't wear knee pads.
Right.
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 And nobody did really.
No.
Because What are they going to do?
Right.
But I did wear just shells on my
Of the thighs, yeah, I
'cause
did too.
I did take a shot.
Couple shots.
As a youngster.
Yeah, Charlie
and
horse is hurt.
It's
Please
hard to
do.
kick with a.
Yeah, true. Be a problem.
All right, let's take a quick timeout. We'll come back real quick. Right here on Hammer Edition of the Horse's Mouth, right here at Tommy Mac's Place. We'll be right back.